Welcome to the dining room here at the Proprietary House. This was the former residence of Royal Governor William Franklin, but aside from that, it was also a hotel and an orphanage. And you might notice there is a building attached to the side of the house, which you can't really see from this room or from the windows. But because of all the different uses over the years, it's safe to say that hundreds, if not maybe thousands of people have had traumatic events here. And I think it's also safe to say that hundreds of people have probably died on this property. But right here in this room, right in this exact corner, this is the only spot where we know exactly where somebody died. There was a caretaker back in the 1960s, and I happened to be fortunate enough to meet the guy that found his body. When this was an apartment, his bed was right here. Guy was a one-armed old man. He was the caretaker here right before this became a museum. And he used to roll his own cigarettes with one arm. And the reason why I mention that is because a lot of times people will smell pipe tobacco right in this room, because that's the style of tobacco he used, a very sweet, pungent smell. So the guy that actually found his body found him right here, lit cigarettes still burning in one hand, half-empty bottle of Jack Daniels resting on his lap. And it is said that sometimes people even feel that drunk sensation standing in this corner of the room. Now, as I said, it's a safe assumption that a lot of people have died on this property, but this is the only spot we know exactly where somebody met their fate. Now, right over here, we have a psychic that comes to the house every October. Her name is Jane Doherty. She stands right here, and her stomach will expand because she says that's the energy coming through her. Now, I'm not a psychic, so I stand here and I don't feel a thing, but it leads a lot of people to believe that there is some kind of portal to the beyond right here. As for a little history connection, the man above the fireplace, his name is Matthias Bruin. He was a wealthy millionaire merchant here in Perth, Amboy in the 1800s, and he chose to make his residence right here in this house. People look at Perth, Amboy today, they don't really see that connection between this city and trading, and back then, Perth, Amboy was New York City before it was New York. This was the center for trade on the entire East Coast.